Yeah, Steve, Lauren, the strict confidentiality laws that govern these juvenile cases did restrict the scope of my conversation with the district attorney, but nonetheless, it shed some important light on how this process of deciding who gets tried as an adult works and when that happens. And ultimately, the big takeaway from my conversation with Lauren Freeman was that we just don't know at this point whether or not this 14-year-old suspect will be tried as an adult, and we likely won't know for quite some time. That's because in order to make that decision, the prosecutor's office first needs to bring felony murder charges, then have a judge sign off at a probable cause hearing that evaluates the evidence. Freeman told me she can't disclose the nature of the charges because of those confidentiality laws, but did confirm that a probable cause hearing has not taken place yet, meaning currently that suspect is still being treated as a juvenile. We also asked Freeman about the video circulating showing the stabbing and what may have led up to it, and potential ramifications if a potential self-defense argument were eventually presented by the suspect at trial. Freeman declined to comment specifically, but pointed out that in general, self-defense arguments are the most common homicide defense, and there are always layers of nuance.
Generally in these types of cases, you get into a place of, there may be some self-defense element, but it's not absolute self-defense. It may in some way mitigate what the ultimate outcome is.
Meantime, we do know the suspect had his first appearance yesterday, a juvenile secured bond hearing where a lawyer is typically assigned and conditions for holding a suspect are laid out, as are potential terms of release. Since his case is still in juvenile court, we are still working to learn what came of that. Obviously, that's something we'll be efforting here in the coming days. Finally, we should point out the punitive gap in these cases. If this 14-year-old is tried and found guilty as a juvenile, the maximum penalty that could be imposed is commitment to a youth detention center until he's 21. That's the absolute maximum. That's obviously a far cry from the potential punishments that could come for a first-degree murder conviction if we get to that point in adult criminal court. So that's something else that would be considered here by the prosecution's office as they make these next steps moving forward in this case. We're live in Raleigh. Sean Coffey, ABC 11 Eyewitness News.